Hello, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to Physio Stories. Physio Stories is a concept which myself and my co-host Stacy have come up with very recently in order to present stories of physiotherapists across the globe, to hear about their stories, to hear about their lives, and to share with us and with all the community of physiotherapists around the world the beauty of the people behind the profession that we love so much. I am John Sherry Dakaro, and I am a physiotherapist from Malta, and my co-host is Stacy DeGale from Trinidad and Tobago. Stacy.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. And this is an opportunity for us to learn more about each other. Quite often, sometimes our patients just see the clinician, our families just see the clinician, and people forget that we are human beings and we have our stories to tell. So we are so excited to be here to share with you the heart of who we are. And I am so excited to introduce our very first Physio Stories traveler. She has her Physio Stories passport, and I want to bring on our guest, Rania. Rania, it's such a beautiful name. I hope I'm doing her name justice. She is a physiotherapist from Syria, and we are so happy that she has said yes to share her story with us. And I'm going to give it back to John because John has known Rania for a while. And he was so moved by her story, her spirit, that he thought it was appropriate that she would be the first guest on episode 1 of Physio Stories.
Welcome, Rania.
Hello.
Welcome to our stories. How are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm fine, thank you. And I want to thank you really because you made for me a chance to be one of your guests. And I hope I will be useful for everybody.
How nice. Rania and I met a few years ago now by chance when I was visiting Lebanon, and I was a guest there at a conference, and we had the opportunity to share dinner one evening. We were sitting in front of each other, and Rania was explaining to me her story, and it's such a heartbreaking and warm story that it needs to be shared with the whole world, really. So as we dive in, into this story, as we start to warm up to your story, Rania, why don't you just take us through to your origins in Syria and your hometown Aleppo? What was it like living in Syria as a young girl and as a growing child, really?
Well, actually, I born in Syria, in Aleppo, and it's a lovely place there. It's nearly, I left Syria like too young. I went to Arabia Saudita and I lived in Arabia Saudita and I studied there. So, but all the time I miss my city. I like to turn back because the culture there, they are so all the time you feel that they are getting improving every day. They like to be happy. They like to be in family. That's what you miss when you are abroad. So, but in Arabia Saudita, I try to study all the time. And when I finished the college, I turned back to Aleppo for a while because I miss it.
What year are we talking about? Take us through the year. What was it in the early 80s, 90s that you were talking about?
When I left Syria, yes, I was like in the 1885, 1985. In that age, like I was in the first class. And then I studied all my elementary, all my high school, my college in Arabia Saudita, actually in Riyadh.
Ah.
Interesting.
So your entire
yes.
a lot of your foundation was in Riyadh.
Yes, I was in the College of King Saud University. I study in the applied medical science. It is one specialty of the applied medical science as a rehabilitation and physiotherapy.
How was life at the time living in Saudi Arabia for you,
But
the young
it was
lady?
hard. Yes, it was hard because in the social part, it's a little bit strict for the ladies. It's not like in Syria, where it's a little bit hard. But we try to be like, as we are Syrian, we know other families, like 2, 3 families. We try to be together in the weekend, kind like of that. So, but actually, the life there wasn't easy uh, because there's not such social life before. I don't know now, maybe it's changed, but before it was so strict. So I all the time be in the hospital. At the beginning, we start in the college. When I was in the 1019, I start to be graduated, so I start to get the volunteer in the hospital. So in the morning I study in the college. Afternoon I try to be as a volunteer in the hospitals of Riyadh.
And once you're talking so much about your graduation and your studying as a physio, what was it that enticed you to study physiotherapy? What attracted you to the profession?
The great point is helping the people because I feel when I was before in biochemistry, because I start with biochemistry in my specialty. I stayed like nearly 6 months and I get A's. I get good grades in biochemistry, but I didn't feel it's my field. I didn't feel that's me. So when I take a look a little bit in the specialty of physiotherapy, I went to the department of pediatrics and I saw how they working. I like it. So I changed my specialty from the first year in college. I changed it to physiotherapy and rehabilitation because I feel that I can give something to people. I can touch it, like helping to re-education of the walking, re-education of the gait training, re-education a baby. It's another type,
That is
not
that is
like
so
chemist.
interesting, though. That is so interesting because I'm sure, John, you could attest to it. Many people become physiotherapists because we were involved in sports, or we had an injury, or a relative had an injury, and we decided to become physios. But
That's
Rania just did not feel the calling with biochemistry, even though she was getting fantastic grades. And she stuck with physiotherapy. And despite her traveling and born in Syria, going to the university in Riyadh, working there for a period, and then making that transition to Lebanon, which I think is simply amazing. She has still stuck to the profession that we all love. It's really amazing. And Rania, tell us now about that transition to Lebanon. How did that come about, and what did you feel? What did you experience there?
Well, I can say I had to do that. I'm sorry, but it was the war because what happened in Syria, it was a situation very hard to stay there. I was working in 3, 4 hospitals as freelance, as a physiotherapist. I had my private clinic and I work as a teacher in the University of Syria, of Aleppo. But when the war started, a lot of the hospitals they are destroyed because of the war. The other thing happened is a lot of my doctors that I used to work with they left Syria because of the war. So the situation it gets worse. The situation get bad, which forced me to leave and search for a job. So I tried to sell my car and I went to Lebanon to search for the only way was Lebanon. Actually, at the beginning, I went to Dubai. I stayed for 1 year, and then when I couldn't do it in Dubai because it's so hard to live there for a lady alone, so I went to Lebanon by airplane.
Wow. And you stayed there for a few years, though. And what was that experience like from working from starting your journey from Syria? What was different in Lebanon? What was easier or more difficult in Lebanon as a physiotherapist and as a female physiotherapist?
As a physiotherapist, I couldn't work at all because it was a little bit the law in Lebanon. The medical field, it is for the Lebanese. So what happened is that as a physiotherapist, as I'm a Syrian, they don't allow me to work in this field, which make it hard for me. So I had to work as an assistant for a nutrition Lebanese lady, which make me feel bad because I like I like my specialty. I like my to be as a physiotherapist. I don't like to be other kind. So I had to find a way to work as an assistant, but I tried to take a machine which is it weight the body, weight the fat in the body, nearly similar to a little bit to my field as a physiotherapist. At the end, I went to the UN and I asked for the migration from Lebanon because it was hard for me to not work as a physiotherapist in Lebanon.
How long was your stay in Lebanon? So, how long were you there for?
I stayed there from 2013 till 2017. Yes, at the end of 2016.
So you did have a good stretch, a good length of time there.
Yeah, it's the time where I tried to work as undercover of physiotherapy and undercover. I try to have my patients, my private patients, friends. I can see as a friend,
And during this time, did you keep contact with Aleppo and with Syria? Was it possible to keep in contact with your homeland?
Sure, I try all the time to contact my son because my son was with my family in Syria. I left him because I cannot bring him with me in this dangerous situation. At least I know that he's safe with my family. And I left him with my father, mother, and my sister, brother. And I left and I went to search for that situation. Yes, I keep in touch with them by phone. I cannot call them by cell phone because the internet was sometimes blocked in the work time. So the problem was this. The problem was all the time I have to search a cabin for a fixed telephone, normal telephone now, and I have to stay talking with them. When I feel that when I felt that I can make it and I found a house, I tried to bring my son and he came to me. That was in 2015.
So we're
So he
talking like
came.
a span of only 7 years ago, and for most of us, thinking that just within 7 years' time, you're not able to use your phone and you need to find a landline to get in contact. It's something that most of us are probably we can't even understand what that
Correct.
means.
We take it
But
for granted. Yeah.
hearing you talking about this experience, it's very touching as well. It's very human, and you can really feel the difficulties that you have passed through. Has this has
I really passed.
how has this how has
I got
it
a problem. Excuse me.
how has this made you grow? How have you developed as a woman, as a physiotherapist, in as a professional? How can you share this
Uh,
experience to make other people like you learn and
the
grow?
only thing The only thing I can say that for every woman, for every physiotherapy, don't stop. If you find like your street is blocked, don't stop there and look. You have to go on. Try to find a way. In any way, you will find a way. So every time I had the problems of the residence example in Dubai or in the residence for me in Lebanon, I try all the time to ask, to learn, to find a way to get out of this problem. Otherwise, I will not get out at all. So my advice is not to hold on. Just go on. You will find a way. Sometime you will find a way.
It amazes me, Rania, that you found your way and you went to the UN. For me,
Yes.
that's something so massive. You know, you said it as though it was just the supermarket down the road, but that had to be an intense experience. And I'm sure it was not just one visit or one call. You had to keep going.
No.
Tell us about that experience dealing with the UN to help with your immigration status.
It was very hard because what made me went to the UN, the situation, the hard situation that I was in. I'm sorry to say that, but in Lebanon, you cannot stay as a free person. You have, as a Syrian nationality, you have to be under the responsibility of any Lebanon nationality person. And for my situation, it was hard because my responsible person was a young man, 27 years old, and that make for me personally as a person, as a female, hard problems with him, and for my son even it wasn't situation good. So I had to ask how I can get out of Lebanon as immigration. So they told me you have to go to the center of the UN, the centers that make the immigration, and apply.
Yes.
And I did. I went there, and it take me like 3 years.
Wow.
Every like 2 months, they sent for me a message, and they said you have to come for a meeting. And I go, and I wait in, like I wait several millions of people. They are there. They study very good the file of the person that's going out or is going in immigration. They don't take everybody. No, you have to put all your details. You have to do not only your details, even the family, the details of the family, the details of your from your burning, from your and you have to put everything. Then they meet you not one time, 4 times. I meeting 4 times with them. And the last meeting, they told me your file is accepted to be immigrated. Where, I don't know. And then after like at the end of, I remember at the end of the June, yes, 2016, they told me your file is accepted in Italy.
Wow. So
It
the
was
choice was not your choice?
No, I
Wow.
can tell you what happened, because what happened is that when the situation gets bad in Lebanon, in Beirut, and especially my responsible
Lebanese.
Lebanese guy, he's tried to be not so good with my son. I asked the father of my son. I was divorced from him from 2004,
Wow.
and we don't talk with each other. But under the stress for saving my son, because even for my son, the situation as he is a young guy in Lebanon, it was worse. So I was afraid for him.
Yes.
So I tried to talk with his father, and I kept all his words, and I asked him, please take my son. It's your son also. Because I couldn't cover him. No economic, I couldn't cover him. And the situation was dangerous for him. So I called his father and I asked him to take him. And I tried behind my son to make a deal with his father. And I sent all his documents, all the documents by email. And then his father make for him a visit to Italy. And he went as a tourist for his father. After like 1 year, I asked the immigration to take Lebanon, but they
Hello?
Hi, we're hearing you, Rania.
Yes, all
Hello?
good.
We're hearing you.
Okay.
We're hearing you.
Yes, you can hear me. Okay.
Yes.
They
Yep.
choose. Okay, they choose to put me in Italy, maybe because they want me to be with my son. You know, because they know that I told them that my son he's in Italy now, so they send me to Italy for this reason.
Wow, that is amazing. And
Yeah.
the irony is now that you and your son are now in Italy ever since. So,
No, my son came here as a tourist,
right.
and then I came here, and till now my son is not under my name. Yesterday only I went in Italy and because they have a bureaucratic thing here. I
Hmm.
went to put him under my a family under my name as a mother.
Yes.
So it's not easy here in Italy to to get your son under your name.
The things we take for granted that you have gone through, and yet you're able to tell us the story, and you're still working as a physio, you're still smiling. It's simply
Yeah.
amazing. And then you had to go to Italy now and learn a whole new language. So, where I'm from, the only language I speak is English and broken English. Now you've had to change your language. Well, John, I know you speak more than one language. Tell us about that transition into this entire new place, Italy, and having to learn this new language and a new culture.
When I came to Italy, I don't know a word, you know, I don't know Italian. Even I didn't think I will come to Italy. I was thinking to go in a place that talk English because and I was thinking, you know, to go like to continue my study and to get the PhD. And I was
Hmm.
thinking that way to talk English in a place where, and I did write it down in my file when I made
Application.
yeah,
The
the request.
application.
But actually, when they told me in Italy, I came to Italy and I didn't know anything. And in a place in one city, it's called Setse, Latina. It's out away from Rome, 1 hour. So they don't speak English. So I had to uh, like using all the time the signs, using sometimes the picture, using the cell phone to show them
Yes.
if I need something like cell phone. The first thing I buy it, I can remember the first thing I buy it is the SIM for the cell phone because my cell phone is not working. So I had to buy a SIM to make a line to make it working and call my son and call my family, tell them that I'm here in Italy.
Wow.
Oh.
That was the first thing I do it, and then slowly, I really thank the UN because they help me. They give me a course in Italy, the basic Italy, which helped me to go directly to search for a job. Sure, I couldn't talk directly as Italian, but it's not easy. The language Italian, the Italian language is not easy, and I know Professor John, he knows that. It's not easy. So till
You-
now, I'm trying to learn, but I learn it very good during my patients.
Yes.
I learn it very good when I work. I try to talk, especially the old ladies. You know, I try with the old ladies to talk slowly, and they help me. There's many kind people, many Italian people. They're really kind with me. They try to hear for me, and they correct my work.
so you actually managed to start working also, and then in Italy. That's great.
Yes.
What are you doing now in Italy? What is your story now?
I am a freelance physiotherapist and I work with two associations. They sent me for the house of the patient, and I work with the ASL of Roma. Don't know what the ASL in English. Help me, Professor John. It's the responsible for the sanitaria as they send the
Right.
patient as a health center responsible
Right.
for each. Like Rome, it has its health center. So
Right.
I work
Primary
with
health.
them,
Yeah. Primary
and
health.
they send for me the patients.
And are you enjoying your experience in
But
Italy?
actually, I go to the house of the patient. I work with them there all the time. I don't have time. All the day I work. Sometimes I work with 8 patients during the day, but it's not in one place. So you have to go
Sure.
like, you have to know the
Traveling
street.
around.
You have to go how to know. I don't have a car, so I go with my scooter. I go with my monopattano, my scooter.
I would love to see you
I
in
take the
action
metro
on your
and,
scooter.
and then- yeah.
And are you enjoying it now in Italy? Have you settled down?
Yes, I can say that I'm settled down. The happy thing here, thanks really for Italy, because you don't have to pay for your residence here. What happened for me before in Dubai and in Lebanon, I have to pay much to stay like for 6 months or 3 months in Lebanon or Dubai. And you have to pay a lot for this. It costs a lot.
Yes.
Here, no. When I came, they directly give me 5 years. Like they give me the push up to start my life. They give me a small place. Yes, it wasn't so nice, but it's okay. It's just a room in a house with other
Okay.
ladies. I try very in a hurry to get out, and I search a job for getting out, and they give me a little bit of money every month. I can't, like when you send your son in another city, you try to give him the basic
Some
things,
pocket change.
Pocket money.
Yeah, like a pocket money. It was like that. It was like they take me as the her no as a son. They took me like, and they give me the basic things: the pocket money, the small place, and even the ticket of the bus that take me away from Setse, where it's 1 hour from Rome. They help me in this. The only thing was that I have to work by myself and work on myself
Yes.
to live and to understand the culture, the Italian culture. Thank God it wasn't so far from our culture,
Yes.
Yes.
because here in Italy they like the family even, and they like to be together, and they are a helpful person. Not They don't like to be alone. Like some people, they help you really as a family.
So
Amazing.
you've made your roots now in Italy, and we know that you're planning to open your own clinic in
Yeah.
Italy soon enough.
Even this is not easy because I have to learn what is the law here,
Yes,
because I understand that it's not easy for me to open it.
correct.
I'm trying to because there is two kind of a clinic here. Either a small studio, they call it a studio. It's kind of like a room. It's just a room and some equipment, small equipment, or it has to be a clinic. A clinic, that means it has to be like 2 rooms or double, and you have to put a lot of instruments in it.
Yes.
So I have to know and understand what is the law here to open my clinic. But it's my dream to open my clinic.
And you've
I think
obviously been dreaming. She's obviously been dreaming, John, to reach to this point and still kept her profession and still forging ahead.
yes,
Yeah.
and as I just noticed that half an hour has flown by
Oh my
really,
God, already.
and you're just flying in right into your dreams, which is really, really, that's where we wanted to end at some point
Yes,
to hear from you what your dreams are and where
yes,
you want to be in the future, and that. But it's amazing to hear your story, Rania, and I always enjoy listening to your story, and it's the second or third time that I'm hearing you talking, and it's always inspiring and awesome to just to understand how one person can pass through so much and be so resilient and
yes.
keep on going, and
Yep.
and always looking for the positive side of life and not letting go. You are a great character, Rania.
Yes.
Inspiration to
Thanks
many.
a lot.
Yeah.
I was happy to know you, Professor John. It was a very nice chance to know you in Lebanon in the meeting. It was really a lovely thing. And
And
I'm dreaming to come to Malta one day because really I want to come and see it and see the center and your association. You have a group of physiotherapists, so I like to to be one of them.
you are always very welcome. You know that. You're always very
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you very much.
You're always very welcome. Stacy, would you like to, I know, close
I
up this conversation,
Yeah, I
this
just want
story?
to again, there's so much more we could have done, and the time has really flown. I just want to thank you again for being an example of, as John said, resilience, of being so graceful under pressure, and for still pushing the profession that you love and trying to help people. And that is the basis of you doing what you do for yourself, for your son, for your family, and for all those who you treat. So thank you for being a physiotherapist par excellence. And you're a better woman than me, because the only Italian I know is buongiorno. I don't even know if I said it right.
Yours is, yeah, buongiorno. Well,
But
at this time, we can say buonasera.
buonasera. Yes, the time
Good
difference.
evening.
I need to remember. Good evening. So, Rania, thank you so much. But I just want us to go right back around and circle back and end with you telling the world, what do you want us to remember about Syria? In this generation, all that we think of is war. And despite you being now settled, a bit settled in Italy, Syria was your home. And what do you want to tell the world of Syria that we don't know? Anything outside of the war? What is the beauty of your home?
Well, I can say this. The war is gone now, and they stopped. The war is stopped now in Syria. So what they are trying to do is rebuild Syria. They are
Yes.
trying to rebuild it, and really, we had all the word I heard in Germany because my family in Germany, they went to Germany. So I hear a lot of doctors, famous doctors in all the world. They are Syrian, and really we have an intelligent person and intelligent doctors in Syria because our school they don't graduate like this. The people
Yes.
they really make it so hard for the student to graduate from the school and from the university. So what was lovely in Syria and what they are trying to do it now and rebuild it is the love and intelligence in the person. So all the time we were the first person that the first people that they do the computer. We arrived informatically very high
Yes.
before the war because our government he tried really to reach a high level in the kids they know how to use the computer, they know how to use the internet. So it was very lovely in Syria what is the how they arrived now after the war. They still connect with the internet. There's a
Yes.
lot of problems they finish it through the internet. So that's what I can say, that they are rebuilding it now, and I hope we can get on.
Thank you so much, Rania, and for you representing your homeland well. And if you are an example of what Syria is, it's a place definitely that I will visit soon, and hopefully with you as tour guide and with John there. So
You
thank you
sure
so,
be
so much.
welcome. Everybody's welcome to come to Aleppo, and I'm sure you will like it.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Rania,
you,
stay on
Rania.
the line. We're just going to close off, but stay on the line, okay? And we'll
Okay,
chat soon.
okay,
We'll have the
ciao,
Thank
pleasure
you,
of
thank
Rania.
catching up. So just hold on there for us.
So that brings an end to our first story, remarkable story of Rania from Syria. What a lovely story we had. Please do like our page, and yes, please join us again. We hope to do this once a month for now, and we will bring another story and another experience for everybody to listen to next month. And you can follow more about the story of Rania on our Facebook page, and we will let you know about our next story coming up very shortly.
Very soon.
I'd like to thank Stacy, my co-host. Thank you, Stacy, for this lovely experience first time. And
It has
that's
been fantastic. It has been a fantastic first time. And John, it's your brainchild. Have to give you those props to remind our profession that we're more than just clinicians, and we are human beings. And if you want to be on Physio Stories, drop us a line as well on our Facebook page. We will get to your part of the world and share your story with your patients and with the rest of your physio community. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will be next time. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.